I wasn't going to make a video about this, but, these stories have popped up this is probably the third time since I've seen this article here that popped up. And, they got guys talking about it. So let's talk about it, okay? And no, I don't know the whole story to it. But man, but look, let me get into it here. So this comes from an interview that Dr. Umar Johnson, okay, and I'm a little hesitant in calling him Umar Johnson, but Dr. Umar Johnson, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know who his wife was talking to. They call her Throat Goat. I think her name was Siobhan, I believe. Okay, I did a couple of videos about that woman. And she spoke on this weird behavior that he had where something about, I guess he liked something about, or to the effect where she likes to be bitten or he likes to be bitten. And he made the statement to her, this is what she's attested. He made a statement to her that your bite is not as hard as a man's bite or something to that effect. Okay? And I don't know what else was talked about, but I believe these statements may have suggested that Dr. Umar Johnson may have liked men or maybe like a tranny, that kind of thing, and he was caught with a picture with a tranny. Now that doesn't mean that actually that he was with a tranny, okay? But these are excerpts that she's putting out. And again, this is all alleged that this man, likes or had maybe been with a tranny. That kind of thing. Here's just the way that I feel about it. That community, the 4-letter community, look, you got a right to breathe, eat, okay? You have your, inalienable rights, your constitutional rights, that kind of thing. But it's an abomination. I don't know what that man does is his business. I guess I don't know. I guess his part is delivering the message that he delivers. And he speaks a lot of truth, a lot of consciousness and that kind of thing that, you have to reach out to all, spheres, that kind of thing. And not just the so-called black community, although he does push Pan-Africanism. I believe that he does have a white spirit and white people do support him. Okay, that kind of thing. And I hope maybe he's diversifying his audience a little bit. And I think that he has ever since he got caught up somewhat, okay, that he does have a lot of conservatism about him. But at the same time, I think that if you are talking about like a lot of religion, and he puts a lot of different types of religion in, I don't think he has a denomination that and consciousness and things of that nature. Okay, again, that when I said set certain examples, well, it's kind of like, look, they just expect you to probably to be straight, all right, and he hypes himself up to be what do you say? Snow bunnies never, sisters forever. And then you get reports like this, these allegations or whatever, that he's contradicting himself. Now, Dr. Umar Johnson, has contradicted himself with the thing with the school and him raising all that money and that kind of thing. They're going to these seminars and getting that money. And he's raised, about $1.7 million. And he's been raising money for what? I think, 14 years, something like that. No school. taking advantage of single mothers and older people, no school, okay? So he's manipulated a lot of people. And one thing that I'm starting to see a lot with a lot of these FBA people, not all, and these conscious people, that they're just really just hustlers, okay? For many of them. Not all. Shout out to the ones that I've made a couple of videos about, the ones that have done the right thing. There's a few, like Marquette Burton, okay? I believe that he's done the right thing. He hasn't been perfect, but he's done the right thing. And people wanted to help Dr. Umar Johnson, okay? But he didn't really even want to help. But doing stuff like this, and he hyping himself up to be, you know, a ladies' man and this and that or whatever, that he want to help kids, that he really contradicting himself. But it's one of the things where a lot of things about him that people find unfavorable are really coming out amid him not getting to school or whatever, where, you know, he has issues of not taking care of his mother, and then he lives in shambles and that kind of thing. All right, that he's smelly. He's got issues with, you know, with custody and child support and things of that nature. Now, I believe that he would have took care of his business. Not saying that it's not important, but you really wouldn't have heard about hardly any of this stuff at all. I mean, maybe somebody that loved him probably could have suggested to, you know, take care of things a little bit better, you know, but a lot of that stuff would have been handled in-house. But this is what happens when you talk a good game and when you don't really back it up. So you're getting another allegation or whatever about Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm telling you, really, you're starting to really see in the end, and I'm going to cut this off right there, that a lot of these doggone conscious leaders or whatever, all right, pro this and pro that, they're not really who you think they are, okay? That they're basically grifters. They talk a good game, but in the end, they really turn out to be somebody else. So you're really seeing that people are not what they really cracked up to be, okay, as we get more and more into these darker times. So let me know what you think about this video. Like, share, subscribe. Cash App $Winston Spivey.